Hi, welcome to another craft video from the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library. I'm Cheryl and I'm in charge of the craft kits from the main library. And today's video is to accompany a kit that we'll be giving out starting October 1st, 2025. But if you don't live near the library and can't get a kit, or if you're watching this later on our YouTube channel, don't worry, I'll tell you everything you need to make this craft yourself with items that you get at home. So what we're making today are cute little Victorian witches. These are mixed media. You start with a Victorian fashion plate that's printed on cardstock and cut out, and we've cut them out for you. And then you have all sorts of different things in your kit. And you have a little quirky witch when you end up to decorate with, and we'll add a hanging loop, and you can hang it on your wall, or you can actually use this as a bookmark. Since we're a library, you can, if it's flat enough, you can use it as a bookmark. And they're just very quirky, and it's an unusual Halloween thing that's not spooky or scary, just interesting and creative. So in your kit you'll have a Victorian fashion plate cut out. You'll have several different scrapbook papers. You'll have a couple of different tissue papers, some various ribbons, some metallic papers, maybe a lace doily, maybe some flowers and sequins, and a little bit of washi tape. And it's all up to you how you want to decorate them. You will need a pair of scissors and a pencil. We do provide you a glue stick in there. Alrighty, so the first thing you're going to do is, what I like to do is start with the skirt and make a scrapbook paper cover for the skirt, if I'd like. And let's see, which one do I want to do? I think maybe I want to do this one. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to flip it over, and you're going to outline the skirt portion. And go up to the waist and maybe a little bit further. And then we're going to cut that part out. Now in some of these, the hands are positioned above the waist, and so I just needed to cut out a little bit here. But on this one, the hands are positioned down here. So I want to try and get around that. And what that does is I'm kind of sketching around where it is. There we go. And if you're not comfortable with cutting out so much at once, sketch a little bit farther out or a little bit closer, so that you don't cut as much, and then you can always go back and trim a little bit more. So what have I got here? Oh, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to figure out where the waist is. Okay. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to glue this on. And make sure you get the edges. Alrighty. Now I think what I want to do is, I'm I'm going to add a little bit of a belt. And should I add purple, green, or the brown? Oh, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to do the brown. And if you're putting on the ribbons, you will need to add a good amount of glue because these are heavier and it's going to take a little bit more glue to hold them than it does to hold the paper. Plus, some of these will unravel if you don't have glue. If you don't have enough glue, sometimes the ends will unravel. Yeah. And now I think I want to add these on here. All right. So now I think I'm going to turn this hat into a witch's hat. And I think I'm actually going to use the green to match this. And now I'm going to look at it and I'm going to think, where would the pointy hat? She's already got a hat on, so I don't need to do the brim. Oh, but I could cut it off flat. And then there we go. Now that's where my brim was. I want to continue it on just a little bit farther down so that I have enough little tab to glue it. Now, let's see, what do we want to do about her top? Well, I could like cut the little lace doily in half and use it like that. I could, as you see what I've done here is I've gathered up a little bit of the tissue paper and just glued it with a little bit of the lace doily on it. And do this. I think I'm going to leave a little bit of the dark peeking down there. And I'm going to pencil in where this goes. And cut that. And you could tie like ribbons, so what you can do is just keep decorating it until you're ready to stop. I can take ribbons. I could, if you take the two loops like this and then you tie them around like this, you can make a little bow. Ooh, that's cute. And if you find that the glue stick doesn't really stick well for your ribbons, you can always use just a little dab of regular glue. We'll just hold it down there. Oh, isn't that cute? You can even add in here what you have in the little baggie is some washi tape. Now washi tape is a repositionable adhesive tape that will go down, and if you don't like it, you can pull it back up without damaging your paper. You could use this for the belts, for trim and decoration. And we have some little flower details, silk flowers. So You know what, I think on this one, I think I maybe want to add some of the little silk flowers to the base. If you're adding sequins, if they are the cupped sequins that are rounded, put the rounded side down if you're using glue sticks and things. That way you've got a good contact. Alright, so I'm going to set this, and I'm going to set this with a little weight on it so that it makes good contact while it dries. Okay, that's set aside to dry. Back to this one. Do I want any sequins on her? Or do I want like a couple of bows down at the bottom? I think I'm going to do a couple of bows down at the bottom. Remember, I'm putting a good glob of glue on there. Okay. Now, do I want to put any sequins or flowers? Or I think I actually have some little skinny that I can add up there. Yeah, I think maybe I want to do that. Now, if you're going to go from side to side, you can actually, especially if this it's like unravels, you can actually put it like an inch or half an inch longer. And then what you could do is wrap around the ribbon, or wrap the ribbon around and kind of glue the ends down this way. Then I'm going to gently kind of hold that down because my fingers are kind of tacky. There we go. And if it doesn't stay, you can always add a small little piece of tape to kind of hold it in place. Now I'm going to put a little hanging loop on her. So I'm going to take one of the ribbons that I did not use, preferably a skinny ribbon, and I am going to take and measure a loop like this so that it sticks up above her head. And I'm going to glue it down here right around the torso area, like right around her shoulders and chest. I'm going to glue the ends down. And to make sure this gets a little bit extra secure, I can take a piece of the paper that I didn't use, and I can add a good amount of glue all the way on this, and I can put that down here to reinforce the ends of the ribbon. Kind of like I used a piece of tape to reinforce these ends up here. And so now I've got my hanging Victorian witch ornament. Alright, so I have added a hanging loop in green on my first one to match my green trim I used, and my glue here for my sequins and flowers is all done. And now I have two little really cute, quirky Victorian mixed media witches that I can use as my Halloween decoration. Or, you know, if you're not into Halloween, You can dress them up with wings and make them autumn fairies. If you are doing this around later in the end of the year, you can dress them up as angels if you'd like. You can even use lightweight laces and chiffons. If you're going to do fabrics, I would recommend a regular glue instead of the glue stick. Glue stick is more for flat things and more for paper. It doesn't like to hold fabric as much because fabric's a little heavier. But you can make, gather up some chiffon or lace and glue it here and use it as a skirt, and then glue a little ribbon as the belt over top of it. And it's all up to you what you would like to do for your cute little artistic touches. So, thanks for viewing another craft video from the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library. I'll see you next time. Bye.